All right. Hagsamak. It is the 8th night of Hanukkah. Let us light the candles, and it's going to be on. So, Hanukkah, 5785, night 8. So, what other holidays do you got? And then I got Mary and Pippin. And they say, yes, we've had one, but what about second breakfast? Which, considering how much eating is a part of Jewish holiday traditions, it sort of seems like an appropriate joke. These beeswax candles were the bee's knees. I'm very pleased with them, and I will be getting them in the years to come. And I just dropped hot wax on my finger. Hanukkah injury. Let's see. Candle lighting. The Bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahaliknei shel Hanukkah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who's hallowed us with the mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. And I'm doing it at night in the window. That's also a tradition. So I am going to be playing a bit of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, spoiler free. And it's been a while since I played this game. And this is out of respect for my friend Katie, who is not a gamer, but she's watched the TV show, but she has not seen know much about part 2. So, not to give too much away, and they are looking for a group, and they come across this building, and it's supposed to be a fuel depot for Fedra, the federal troops. But if you look at it, it's a big old dome in a city. And spoiler alert, this is going to be spoiler free. I'm going to respect my friend Katie, who does not know much about the plot of this game. And I will be avoiding editing this to avoid spoilers. But that's a synagogue. So, question. What is the most important Jewish holiday / holy day? Passover, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah? Trick question. It's Shabbat. In addition to annual Jewish holidays, the tradition of Shabbat, a weekly day of rest and spiritual reflection, is observed from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Our biggest holy day comes 52 times per year. So, trick question. Rabbis love doing that. I am not a rabbi. So, Shabbat Shalom and Shomer Shabbos. And of course, as I discussed earlier, the character of Walter in The Big Lebowski claims that he is Shomer Shabbos, yet his criminal activities would not, he's definitely not Shomer Mitzvot. So, Rosh Hashanah. This is the Jewish New Year, a time for reflection, repentance, setting intentions for the year above. I'm currently recording this on secular New Year of January 1st, but technically, according to Jewish religious calendar, we already had New Year's. It was Rosh Hashanah, and it was back earlier, I think early October. So it is celebrated with special prayers, symbolic foods like apples dipped in honey, signifying a sweet new year, and some round challah, and going to synagogue. It's the start of what we call the High Holy Days. So, The Last of Us, Part 1 and 2, one of the chief designers is a gentleman by the name of Neil Druckmann, and he is Jewish. And, this is an incredibly creative game. Oh, shoot. So, the incredible thing about this, like I was saying, Neil Druckmann, designer of The Last of Us, and he's Jewish. So, Shana Tova, a greeting for Rosh Hashanah. So, that is a big 7-branch menorah, which was a symbol of the menorah at the temple in Jerusalem. A lovely stained glass window. And this came in. This is what's called the bima, the raised area, and that is the ark. So the Torah scrolls would be kept in there during services. This is a big, big synagogue. And then there's also a bima down there with central reading place for reading, and apples dipped in honey.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
This place is a synagogue.
That's right.
How can you tell?
One, there are
Menorah decorations on the wall.
It's a Jewish thing. And two, I didn't burst into flames just now, so.
Burst into flames?
It's just a dumb joke.
Oh, unlike your other ones?
You shut it.
So, Yom Kippur.
Brings back a lot of memories.
Place brings back a lot of
My
memories,
sister
she
used to
says.
drag me to a synagogue all the time.
You never struck me as much of a believer.
Nah, but I like coming from a long line of survivors.
That's right.
You mean after Outbreak Day?
That, and the Inquisition, and the Holocaust. My family always made it out alive. Barely.
Yeah. So, surviving, that definitely changed the Jewish people. I knew Holocaust survivors at my old shul, and a lot of modern people sort of forget that we are about one generation away from the Shoah, and it's not hypothetical. So, Yom Kippur, following Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement, the holiest day of the Jewish calendar. It's a day of fasting, intensive prayer, focusing on seeking forgiveness and sins and making amends. Yom Kippur emphasizes themes of forgiveness, reconciliation, and taking responsibilities for one's actions. In Rosh Hashanah, it is written, and Yom Kippur, it is sealed. And there is lovely. So they're blowing a shofar. On the right is a wonderful painting. It's also a day of fasting, and so you can just see the. Is it over? Are we still? It's not just the fasting, but it's going to shul for a long time, and so there are a lot of. Jokingly refer to some Christians as C and E, Christmas and Easter. Those are the only 2 days that they go to shul. And then there's what they call High Holy Day Jews. And they only go to synagogue on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The problem is those are some very, very intensive ones. And so it's a heck of a lot more fun if you go throughout the year and not just on the most hardcore days. So the shofar was initially used for communication between the hilltops and Eretz Israel, and it's made from a long ram's horn. And there are some ladies attempting to blow the shofar. So let me advance the plot a little bit. I think I'm looking for some gasoline.
Shit. Latch is on the other side. Found the gas. Just need to get back there. Okay.
Well, yes, I will take some.
Here we go.
So,
God damn it.
Hey, language. House of worship.
house of worship here.
It's empty.
That sucks. Now what?
We'll try our luck at the courthouse garage.
So, Sukkot, the Feast of the Tabernacle, commemorates the 40-year journey through the desert after escaping slavery in Egypt. It involves building temporary shelters called sukkah and occupying them for a week. Sukkot is a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of relying on faith and community in uncertain times. So, 40 is also biblical code for a really long time, and we don't know the amount. I guess it seems like a very long time for when people barely lived 40. But how many days did Moshe Rabbeinu stay on the mountain? 40. How many years was Beit Yisrael in the desert before they reached Eretz Yisrael? 40. So it's sort of biblical code for a really long period of time. There is a community having a lovely, lovely dinner. Not only are you supposed to build a sukkah, but you're supposed to dwell in it. This is obviously done at a synagogue because that's incredibly big. And here's another quite big sukkah. Living in the diaspora, we would always put together our sukkah, and it would be right about the time that the Chinook winds would roll through the northwest. So we would try to at least enjoy the sukkah before the winds would get it. However, in Eretz Yisrael, you're a lot more connected to the, closer to the equator and less Chinook winds. And so there is someone setting up a sukkah, which is sort of a four-walled tent, and you're supposed to have decorated with some palms and try and make it light and pleasant. So Passover. Let's see. Let me get back out of here. And I'll talk about Passover, also known as Pesach. So, Passover
Do you still
celebrates
pray?
liberation. Oh,
Sometimes.
Really? When?
Sometimes I just
all right.
little ones to myself.
I just edited out a little bit of a spoiler.
Does it help?
I think it calms me. Helps me put things in perspective. It's a way to deal with grief. A way to show respect.
Yeah.
It's what I know.
So, one thing about Jewish prayer is you don't pray for God, you pray for yourself. And it's supposed to help you. And I should daven more often. So, Passover, Pesach, celebrates the liberation from slavery in Egypt. It is observed with an important dinner called a Seder, where the story of the Exodus is recounted through reading, song, symbolic foods. During Passover, Jewish people refrain from eating leavened bread, chametz, and they eat matzah, symbolizing the haste in which our ancestors fled Mitzrayim in Egypt. Passover highlights themes of social justice, freedom, and resilience in the face of oppression. There is some matzah. It is, quite literally one of the original crackers. Hold on a second. I'm going to edit this part out because that light is just quite bright. There. There. Hopefully you can see me without me going blind in my bright light. So there is matzah, And this is a Seder plate. I guess they have some smaller matzah there, but there is the traditional ones over there, the big round ones, the shank bone, bitter herb, the charuset, the maror, and believe it or not, Rugrats Passover is a really, really good, very entertaining. And on there, you can also get the Rugrats Passover and a Rugrats Hanukkah. And then there's also The Prince of Egypt. I'm still amazed that this movie got made. Incredible, incredible, incredible 2D animated movie. And just really, there's a couple bits of it that just really sort of send shivers down my spine. Like the part where Miriam says Miriam's song at the at the splitting of the sea. So Shavuot. In the game, I want to get to the rabbi's office. Let's see, but look at the lighting in here. It's just lovely.
What now?
Bet we could use that.
So Shavuot, or Shavuos, marks 7 weeks from Passover, marks the giving of the Torah to Moses at Sinai. It is quite literally the day that Moses came down from the mountain. And it's most celebrated with cheesecake, dancing, marching with the Torah, and all-night Torah study. And Shavuot emphasizes the lifelong learning and engagement with Jewish texts and tradition. And cheesecake, because living the Torah,
This way.
the Eretz Yisrael is supposed to be a land of milk and honey, and Torah is also as sweet as honey. Oh, wait, hold on. So, a note. Oh, yeah, that's from the military folks. So, a lot of the Jewish people, myself included, are lactose intolerant. So, it's crazy that we have a holiday around.
What do you think of this?
With cheesecake. So
What's this?
in there
Torah.
The what?
is the Torah,
It's scripture. It's like a
and the Sefer
Jewish
Torah.
Bible.
Hmm.
My sister would have flipped for this.
So it's a handwritten
The
scroll.
one we used in New Mexico was half burned. All right. Well, at least they didn't just chuck everything.
Yeah. So this is an evacuated synagogue after the zombie outbreak. So traditionally, it's not just like in there. It's supposed to be wrapped in almost like a robe and in ceremonial plates, and we're supposed to treat it with royalty and respect. And so reading in here, the Torah scroll was probably taken by a soldier and placed there, and they didn't do the same kind of wrappings, but at least they knew that they had to do something. And then there's probably some prayer books and Chumash, which is sort of like a printed version used for study. Chumash also has commentary. Etz Hayim is my favorite. It's the one that we used. And on the wall, pomegranate, also a symbol of Eretz Israel. And a tree, I believe that might be, again, Etz Hayim, the tree of life. But I want to get to the rabbi's office. Oh, my candles are going. So that is Happy Shavuos Festival. Happy Shavuot. Purim, joyous holiday. Commemorating a joyous holiday commemorating the deliverance of the Jewish people from a plot to destroy them in ancient Persia. It is celebrated with wild costume, parades, drinking, the reading of the Megillah, the scroll of Esther. And Purim is a time for revelry, masquerades, and celebrating triumph of good over evil. So there is a Hasidic family in Eretz Israel, and they're dressed, and there is a bunch of boys, or guys dressed as apparently unicorns, in with pink tutus, and both of these are traditional ways to celebrate Purim. It's also a big drinking holiday. My lord. So, Tisha B'Av. It is a solemn day of mourning commemorating the destruction of the first and second temple in Jerusalem, the exile, the diaspora, and my lights are going out, quite literally, and the Shoah. It's meant to sort of commemorate everything bad that's happened to the Jewish people for the last, like, over 2,000 years. So Tisha B'Av is a time to reflect on Jewish history, loss, and hope for a future when the temple will be rebuilt. There is an painting of the destruction of the temple, and we're not blaming the Romans, but we do mourn. We're supposed to, on that day, you're supposed to mourn as if it happened yesterday. And there's an illustration of the taking of the menorah, and reading and mourning the we even have a phrase for, like, maybe when someone dies, you say, well, maybe, or you find out someone is mourning for a loved one, you say, well, maybe mourned, may be among the mourners of Zion. So it is an event in history that has forever shaped us, and we remember it. Jewish history did not start recently.
Ellie,
we are an
careful.
old people,
It's okay.
and
Totally.
let's see, hold R1. History didn't start in the 20th century. Got to get enough momentum to get over here. There.
Nothing to it.
And Tu B'Shvat.
Come on, Dina. Right.
Of course, Dina, an unplayable character, the zombies don't see her, and she's doing much better. The NPCs are invincible in this game, basically. My cat is playing with my backpack. So, this is the rabbi's office. I got some drugs there. But there's a photo of a rabbi, we assume, and family. Rabbis are not only prayer, they run prayers and scholars, but they're also community members. Community leaders. And look on the wall. 5774.
Are we in the future?
No, doofus, that's a Hebrew calendar.
Hebrew calendar.
For the new year. My sister used to give me an apple dipped in honey.
Apple dipped in honey.
Now I'm craving it.
Yeah.
Oof, that does sound pretty good.
Jewish holidays are all about food.
Guilty as
and
charged.
Celebrating not getting annihilated by
Yep.
our enemies.
A long line of survivors.
Try to kill us.
Exactly.
They failed. Let's eat. So I also want to go through the drawer, because there's a letter. It reads, Lieutenant Torres, 70 years ago, my grandfather fled Germany with his family as World War II began. He escaped thanks to the kindness and bravery of a Polish family. And so the wheel turns and the cycle continues. Tonight, my family has packed our belongings, and due to your kindness, we will leave the city escorted by your brave men. Thank you for helping me preserve what we can of our shul, which is a Jewish way of saying synagogue. It is difficult to leave our home behind, but in the end, it is the people, the living people, that matter. With one thought, for every turn away to a better world, there is often a stronger correction towards it. Do not lose hope for the future. And as the old saying goes, it takes but one candle to dispel the darkness. May God watch over you always, Rabbi Ziva Saunders. So, Ziva Saunders
Forgot where you were going.
was the, well, fictional rabbi of this shul. But this is, if I had to guess, that's her. If I had to guess, this was a conservative congregation. And boy, I really Ziva. I really hope that's a. Okay, I'm gonna pause and check real quick. Yes, I'm right. Ziva is a female name. But Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat, New Year for the Trees, a minor holiday that is celebrated, celebrating the natural world and the cycle of life, often marked with planting trees, eating fruits, often associated with the land of Israel, Eretz Yisrael. And Tu B'Shvat became increasingly relevant with themes of environmental awareness and sustainability. So, as a Jew, we got 3 New Years. So we have Rosh Hashanah, religious New Year's, Tu B'Shvat, New Year for the trees, and secular New Year's. We just had secular New Year's.
Okay, cross the dome off the list.
So that's the synagogue scene in The Last of Us. So, last night, lights of my candle. Turn off the lights so you can see them better. But they're almost going out. So, Hag Sameach. Happy holidays. Coming down, this is the last night of Hanukkah. It goes until sunset tomorrow. And it is a time of dedication to renewal. And yeah, it is definitely in the past year what the Jewish people have been through since the start of the current war and the worsening of the conditions in the diaspora and also in Eretz Yisrael. So it definitely reflects. So I need to do more to get out of my little shell and connect more to the Jewish community of the city that I live. And me doing this video series, man, this is like the most unpopular thing I can probably think of doing. Like last year, I did some Christmas videos, and I thought, boy, what is like no one they were not popular, and so I was like, okay, well, if the Christmas videos aren't popular, let me take a stab at Hanukkah videos.
peaceful out
And
here, at least.
my lord,
It's
it
weird being
is
accused of
not
clearing trucks.
winning. I am not winning over
Fire and
the
explosions.
algorithm. I
My
actually
sister
hope
always
I'm
avoided
able to,
QVs.
you
That's
know,
probably why.
get back into the good
She just
graces
got
of
more
the
and more
algorithm.
paranoid.
But it's worth
She'd
it
sometimes
because you
wake up
need
screaming
to,
at
when you're
me.
making YouTube
That's rough.
videos, you need to make
We always had a backpack so we could
videos
bail
of
if
stuff that
something
you
happened.
want. And
Never
I
stayed in
don't
one
think
place for more
of,
than
I
a few
can't think of
weeks.
anyone doing anything like this.
Sucked.
So
It's nice to have a
I
place we call home,
had
right?
a lot of fun coming
When
up
I first got to
with
Jackson, I was
the talk here. and I'm literally at my last slide. I made a whole, I think, let's see, 221 slides. I like this whole concept of like having me talk, doing a presentation, and playing a game. So I'll have to think about how I'm gonna do this in the future. But trying to make videos that I'm proud of, stuff that I want to see. So, Hag Sameach, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Hag Sameach. This is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome, play retro. I swear I'll get back to regular stuff after this. All right.